Now, the proper way to erase a whiteboard is circular motions counterclockwise. Counter, not clockwise. That leaves streaks. Counterclockwise. Small movements, maybe about the size of a softball. Okay? Counterclockwise. And you work from the bottom up. And that's how you clean a whiteboard. All right, moving on into our next section. Okay, this is going to be chapter 7, so my recommendation is to pause the video, go to chapter 7's file, and print it out. Okay, yeah, it's a little long. You can feel free to take notes if you would like. I did my best trying to get you guys this stuff. I couldn't find the file I gave you, so if I gave you guys this and I'm having you reprint it, just check the notes that I gave you. Again, I'm not sure. Okay, so it's chapter 7, adding and subtracting polynomials. Okay, so this is 7.1. Because I'm going to need the room, I'm just going to get rid of the polynomial statement and just go with adding and subtracting. Now we have a bunch of definitions. First one is monomial. All right, and the geometry teacher in me likes to break down words. Okay, so we have monomial. We're going to have to be talking about the degree of a monomial. All right, and then we're going to have coefficient, and then we're going to have leading coefficient, but I ran out of room for that. And I'll tell you what I mean about breaking words down. So when I see the word monomial, I see the word mono, like mano y mano. It's one-on-one. So monomial means one term. So an example of that would be like 3x or 2x squared y. Notice there's no adding or subtracting. It's just one thing. Now the degree of a monomial is the highest exponent. All right? So it's the highest exponent. So for the example of 3x, the degree would be 1. Why? Because there's only a 1 there. Okay? Now, for this guy's a little weird, and I have to go over. The degree of 2x squared y, all right, would be 3. Where does the 3 come from? Well, there's a 2 there and a 1 there. Notice they're different variables, so I have to do 2 plus 1, and that's 3. Okay? And I'll write that right there. 2 plus 1 is 3. Now, the coefficient is the number in front of the variable. So an example of that from up here, this would be 3. Okay, notice 3 is in front of the variable. For this guy, that would be 2, because it's in front of that. That's my coefficient. Any questions? Joe? Yes. So you're going to add these two coefficients to come up with the degree of a monomial when there's two different variables. And when there isn't one, all right, it's just your highest exponent. All right, pretty simple there, okay? Now, what is the leading coefficient? Well, the leading coefficient, okay, it's just like what it sounds like. See, notice counterclockwise circles. Look at that. Pristine. Okay? Now, leading coefficient is simply the number in front of the variable with the highest exponent. That's simply it. All right. So we'll go over this stuff more as we get into this. So now we have a couple basic definitions. So now we have examples of monomials and examples of non-monomials. Savannah, can you give me an example of a monomial? Yes. 4x. Perfect. Tina, can you give me an example of a non-monomial? Okay, yeah, 2xy, but we need some more to that. So we need an addition sign. So like 3x squared y. So notice I have two things separated by a addition sign. Okay, let's go back to Mason. Mason, can you give me an example of a monomial? 3x squared, very good. Eric, example of a non-monomial? 3x squared plus 1, perfect. Okay, these are all examples of monomials and non-monomials. Notice the difference is these don't have an addition sign, these do. All right, so examples of degrees. Okay, so example, find the degree. So we have A is 5x squared. B is 8x cubed y cubed. C is, well, actually, let me write this the way it's written in your book. B is 8x cubed y cubed. C is negative 1/2 xy cubed. And D is negative 3. So the degree, I'm going to use D to represent degree. So degree here is 2 because that's my highest exponent. Now, jumping to this one, I have 3 and 3. So I add them, that's 6. I add them because I have two different variables. Degree here, 1 plus 3, so that's 4. Now notice there's no x's here, none. So my degree is 0. Any questions? Okay, you guys try. While I'm erasing, you guys try and I'll go over the answers in a second. It's all coming back to me. Sorry, I like Celine Dion. Hot girl. All right, so the answer to A would be 4. The answer to B would be 1. The answer to C is 5. And the answer to D is 0. So those are your answers. Check your work. See if you can get that. All right, and then we're going to go over some definitions. We're going to go from there. Now, a polynomial. And then we have a term, like terms. We have binomial, trinomial, so a polynomial, we're going to skip this for a second, and we're actually going to go to binomial. Okay? So think of like bicycle. Yeah, funny. Okay? Bi means 2. So 2 terms. An example of that would be 2x plus 3, or 2x squared plus x. Notice there's 2 things. What does trinomial mean? We'll think of it like a tricycle. Okay, 3 terms. This would be like 2x squared plus 3x plus 1. Notice I have 3 pieces. That brings me to, what is a term? The term is parts of your expression, separated by, hold on guys, this is Mr. Graham. Yo dude. Yo, I'm in the middle of filming. You're on film right now. Yeah, say hi to my CP class. They're pretty dope. Mr. Graham says hi to you guys. He said, don't forget to do your science work and check Schoology. Yes. I'll give you a call in a minute, bro. All right, peace. No, it's all good. Bye. Mr. Graham says hi, and he says, do your science. Okay? So it says parts of your expression separated by addition or subtraction. All right, sorry that it's all jammed up there, but I'm trying to get it all in for you. So what is a polynomial? Well, poly, I think of like a polygon, all right? Or I believe there was a Pokemon named by that, but polynomial means many terms, okay? So this is basically for anything more than 3. And what are like terms? They're terms that have the same variable. Ooh, didn't think that one through. That one's tight. That one's tight. So let me get rid of some of this stuff so you guys can write the things down right here. All right, so there we go. Get that down. All right. So the last thing we need to talk about is what is the degree of a polynomial? And I'm not going to write this on the board because I just did on the last page. The degree of a polynomial is the largest exponent. Okay? It's the largest exponent. So write that down. Now, what is standard form? Standard form is writing it in such a way that my exponents decrease. Let me show you an example of that. (3x squared plus 2x plus 4). Notice it goes 2, 1, 0. Another one would be 4x to the third plus 3x squared plus 2x to the first plus 1. 3, 2, 1, 0. They go down in descending order. All right, now let's flip over to the other side. And what we're going to do is we're going to classify them as monomial, binomial, trinomial, and polynomial. And we're going to put them in standard form. So A is what? We have one term. It's negative 3x to the fourth. This is a monomial. Now let's go to B. How many terms do we have? 2. Very good, Mason. So it's a binomial. All right, so Audrey, we're going to write q to the 5th plus 8q. See how it went 5 to 1? It went descending, decreasing. Okay, let's look at C. How many terms are there? Quinn? Very good, 3. So this is a trinomial. All right, so We're going to write it in decreasing order, so our largest exponent is 2, so we write 5x squared minus x plus 4. Notice it goes 2, 1, 0. And the last one here, let's go with Schneider. Schneider, how many terms? Again, we have 3. Very good. It's a trinomial. And we're decreasing. We need to decrease our exponents. So our largest one is t cubed. So it's negative t cubed because we take the sign in front of it. Then it's t squared minus 10t. So notice it's decreasing again. Why don't you guys try on your own the try, and after you're done with that, why don't you guys work on the assigned IXL. All right, and don't forget to do your science. Do it.